All right, welcome in Libras to your monthly tarot reading. So we are going to tap into July 2025. This is just general information, anything that's in your best and highest good to know, to be informed of, any guidance. So if you happened across this video and were drawn in by the title, but it is not July 2025, that's okay. This message is still relevant for you. You were guided here for a reason, and there's information that you need to hear. So listen till the end. If this reading didn't resonate for you, check out your other signs. So again, you can do your sun, your moon, rising, or Venus sign. And you'll definitely hit something that is for you to know, that can help you. All right, so we are in July. This is Cancer season. So the themes for Cancer are, let me pull my book here. Nurturing, home, and family. And we have the full moon in Capricorn on the 10th, and then a new moon in Leo on July 24th. So for you Libras, you guys are the relationship sign, so family, home, hearth, nurturing. I think you resonate with that stuff. So it's kind of something new for you to think on this month and kind of think, what is home to me? And it's not more about a place, but what the feeling and finding that feeling within yourself. But how do you build that in the place you are right here, right now? And how do you nurture yourself? You know, nurturing is really about the self. How do you nurture yourself? All right. Well, let's get into it. I'll pull some oracle cards first for you. Higher consciousness. Sirius, Pleiades, and Arcturus. So that's some really big information, wisdom going on. Flow. The Nile River, Egypt. Yeah, it's going to start coming in for you. There's going to be a lot of just spiritual kind of higher guidance. It's going to just be flowing in big time. I feel like there's something to just surrendering and allowing it to flow. Something as well in July, I feel like the best guidance is to just, again, surrender. Don't try and swim upstream or push the river, or if there's something going on and you want it you're impatient or something. The key here is just lay back and allow life to take you and unfold, take you where you need to be and just unfold the way it's meant to. Stillness, a Zen monastery, Japan. Interesting. So this is a lot of, and I just happened to see this card, healing, so I'm going to pull it for you. Libras, you get an extra one. Yeah, so this seems like a very spiritual month. I feel like there's not a lot of action. There's something around, instead of taking action too fast or with impatience, I feel like there's something you need to really tap into and just gain some information, gain guidance, maybe meditate on something. Just bask in the stillness of your higher consciousness, your higher self, to get information, to focus on healing, because I feel like that needs to happen. This month is something about preparing you to try and figure out the next next path or the next stage of your life or something big here. So I wouldn't try and push anything, like trying to figure out long term right now. Just sit back, enjoy the ride in July, and take it slow. Okay. So underneath here we have the Ten of Wands. So there is kind of, you've kind of reached, so the tarot goes from an ace to a 10. So the 10 is kind of you're closing out a chapter. You have reached kind of, you've realized something, you've kind of reached the end of something. And especially this can refer to like a difficult chapter or a difficult path. Let's keep going. Five of Swords, Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, Two of Wands, and Two of Cups. And then we have the King of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So it is referring to some sort of connection or relationship here. You have a king and a queen. You have the Four of Wands and Two of Cups. So this is kind of, we're going to start at the end here. So where you're kind of, I think what you're trying to figure out here is there is a relationship or partnership. This is at the end here. So you could be trying to figure out how this can come together. Maybe another level of commitment. If there's something, a question about like, where are we going to live? Should we move in together? Some sort of dynamic here, but someone's more in their emotions, trying to figure out their emotional state. The other person is trying to kind of, they're kind of motivated by their passion and their ideas, and they're trying to kind of take the lead and become this like, you know, you want to be attractive and things like that. But there is a decision that needs to be made about this. Like looking in this deck, you see Alice kind of looking into the kind of future here. Like, what's the path here? Where am I going? I think you'll figure it out by the end of the month. But you need to go in a direction here right now. I feel like maybe in the recent past or right now, you've been a little like uncertain about what direction you're going in. Like where do I go from here? I'd be a little wary of, I almost felt with this Five of Swords, there was a little bit of like self-gaslighting. There's like this competition in you that you need to like, you need to win. And there's something about winning here. And the situation isn't about winning. I feel like if you approach a situation of feeling like you want to get something out of a situation, you want the upper hand, you want what you want in the situation. I feel like if it doesn't matter what the situation is, if you approach it like that, you're not connecting to your true self and getting the right information, and you're not always going to be, most likely, if you're acting out of this, it's a situation that you don't feel you have control of, or there's some fear here. So you're trying to like overwrite your fear, and you're trying to force an outcome. And that's where too this flow and stillness is. Because you're always going to be led astray. I can tell you right there. Because that's your mind, right? Swords. This is your mind playing tricks on you. And I feel like that's what's keeping you blocked right now. So here's this needing to go more spiritual, needing to go more internal, and really connect with your soul, and allow, if there's fear, if there's a lot of fear, or yeah, I just feel like potentially a lot of fear of something. There's some emotions deep within you that you're very afraid of. And so you're constantly trying to, in the external world, hold on to things that kind of make you feel better. that can be codependency too if it's relationship. So there's something about really connecting to your higher source of information here, and not just listening to your mind or your fear or what seems logical. But I definitely feel like you are walking in a direction. You're eventually going to walk away from something towards something here. But I feel like maybe you're hoping this is the right path, but there's still some details around this that need to be worked out. Or maybe you're not 100% sure of how this is going to play out for you. All right. So we have Ace of Cups, Six of Wands, and the King of Swords. So definitely right now I feel like you're feeling good. You're feeling the feels. There's maybe, if there's a situation here with a relationship, there is love right now. You know, you're feeling your cups filled. Something's going good. Definitely to hear, like, maybe you're basking in potential accomplishment that may be coming this month. There's some success here that you're awaiting. And I think the King of Swords, then, it's like maybe there's some accomplishment or success around something. And then it's like, okay, let me be logical about this and let me figure out the details. There's something about figuring the details, making a plan. And this King of Swords really has some clarity then. You know, the King of Swords is very clear. There's a little bit of definitely uncertainty right now, but I feel like you're going to get more clear as the month goes on. Seven of Swords. That Seven of Swords keeps popping up this month. Page of Cups and King of Cups, or no, sorry, Knight of Cups. So there can be a little bit of like, just, there's a little disclaimer here. I know you're feeling the love and you're all in these feels, what the cards are saying. Don't let your fears kind of distort the situation right now. It's almost like it could be kind of creating some illusion here. It's almost like you're could be lying to yourself. And I'm not saying that this situation isn't going to pan out or there's something really bad here. Because this seems to be, I mean, we do have the Five of Swords. There could be a little manipulation going on. If someone's trying to manipulate the other person in this relationship to try and, like, what's the word? Tie it down, right? You want this person, or this person wants you, and they want to tie you down. They want a commitment. There could be a little manipulation going on here. Same thing with the Seven of Swords. Like, are you using, this could be love bombing a little bit. Someone's love bombing. Like, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of, like, overdoing it from an emotional standpoint to kind of try and, again, get the outcome you want, or trying to get this person to really want the same thing you want here. So there's a little bit of that. And it's kind of tied to this Page of Cups, like this innocent offer. There's this, you know, I want this. And not saying that if this is you, I would, you know, kind of, that's where you need to really start to spiritually connect and kind of unlayer this sort of behavior patterns here. It's like you feel like it's innocent. Like you're like, well, I'm not being, I don't feel like you're intentionally trying to be deceptive here, because there's, with the page, it's like this innocence. But I do feel like when these behavior patterns pop up, it's due to some sort of trauma, relationship kind of attachment or codependencies of like needing, I need this person. And you're willing to do anything it takes, whether it's love bombing or, again, how do I control the situation so it goes my way? You know, that's sort of toxic behavior patterns with the image of, this is innocent here. And there's the Knight of Cups. You know, this could be a lot of love bombing here. So if someone's love bombing you a lot, I would kind of, don't just rush into it like, oh, this is amazing. Because I feel like potentially as the path continues with this person and you really try and figure out the details, that stuff's going to start bubbling up and you're going to start seeing the truth here. But someone's definitely, there's a lot of like romantic gestures and love being offered right now in this situation. So definitely feeling like this is love related. Knight of Wands. Yes, someone wants to just, is being very impulsive and just wants to jump in. They want to jump in the deep end. So there's definitely a relationship here. I think you guys are trying to figure out, maybe it's not, this is a relationship that isn't totally solidified yet. It's like you're not engaged yet, you're not married, you're still maybe trying to figure it out with them, but someone is definitely impulsive. Like they're feeling a lot of passion towards this, they want this. The Knight of Wands kind of tends to be driven, motivated by their ego a bit. They don't have a lot of logical sense. So we have the Knight of Wands and then we have the King of Swords. So that's completely opposite energy here. So maybe there's a shift throughout the month. Maybe there's a shift from, oh, this is amazing, and little starry-eyed, a little delusional, kind of that, you know, drunk on love. This is like drunk on love. But by the end of the month, maybe something happens and you're kind of, someone shifts and starts to look at it more logically and like, okay, like really, how is this going to work, right? Where this is just like, who cares? Who cares how it's going to work? Let's just do it. Let's just jump in. Three of Wands and the Death card. So yeah, I feel like if you've seen this card, the rabbit's got his pocket watch. He's like impatiently waiting here, like time's a ticking. So it could be somebody is definitely, who's ever this, the person who's like, oh, let's just jump in the deep end. Let's get married tomorrow. Like, there's that impatience here a bit of like waiting. Let's wait and see. You're also potentially could be waiting for something to kind of pan out. This could be the relationship or something, but there's some sort of like something that you're hoping to accomplish or get recognition for, or this is like some sort of success in some area. You're like waiting for this to pan out. So this could also be a factor in this relationship. Definitely there's this Death card. I don't want this to like scare you. We'll get a clarifier, but it's like something needs to completely transform here. And that's maybe where the healing comes in. Like there needs to be a complete inner transformation. And this situation is kind of going to push you to face this and go through some major transformation. However that appears, if that means potentially like someone so like, again, drunk over in love over this and just like starry-eyed, that this could be like the wake up, the slap in the face of like, we need to face reality here and something really has to happen. And maybe this is some sort of lesson, or maybe just for this to work out, this is what's really going to need to be called for here. So that's where it's interesting, because we have the oracle cards are very high level, very spiritual, very like connecting back to the soul and getting the messages and information from a higher self. And the reading is completely opposite. I mean, you're really in the physical, not really listening. Someone's definitely not listening and taking this very impulsively. But let's get a clarifier for this Death card. Five of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. There could be something about money here, or there could be an issue with money eventually when you're really facing the Pentacles. So this is, the Pentacles are about the physical reality. Like, how is this going to look, right? We talked about with the Four of Wands down here, like, where are we going to live? What house? Like, how do we build a solid foundation here in the physical? And that could be kind of the reality check here of like, we finally need to really think about this. Okay, it's not just about love, drunken love. Like there's the reality, and sometimes, love isn't enough. Like we need to think of all the other factors when it comes to a serious relationship for its success. Like what are our values? What are our goals? What are the things we really want in life? And does this person align in that? And are we just compatible? Like this is just I'm in love and I don't care. I'm in lust. I'm feeling passionate, but are we compatible? And I think there's some eventually this facing that. And I'm not saying that you both decide that it will. I definitely feel like there's love here. There's a lot of emotion, but let's get one more. King of Pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely kind of balancing out your passion here, your passion and being inspired to take action, but also looking at the physical reality and what do we really need to think about here to set up, to really build a solid foundation. There's a lot to that I think needs to be looked at. What's the Seven of Swords about? The Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords. This is an interesting combo here. It's almost like, I don't necessarily like the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Like definitely somebody is trying to do something fast. Like there's impatience here. They want something fast and they want it now. But it's like the universe is saying, hey, there's like things will happen in divine timing. And because of the impatience and the wanting it fast, there's a little bit of like this Seven of Swords energy of like, how do I make this happen faster? And again, I don't think it's like consciously deceptive here, but you are trying to almost like, how do I cheat fate? How do I cheat time or the universe here and get what I want now? Like, how do I make this happen? How do I get away with this? And so there's a little bit of almost like, if you're thinking from that foundation, that's where the manipulation comes in of how do I manipulate the situation or even manipulate this person to get them to want to commit or want them to love me the way I love them. Like there's something here. And, let's get one more. Nine of Swords. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. There's a lot of, someone's having a lot of, this is like anxious attachment here. Someone is very attached. This is very codependent energy of like this, I need this person. I have to have this person. And you're willing to do things to make this happen that I think aren't the healthiest for yourself. And this isn't essentially getting a true successful result or outcome from this. Because what ends up happening is you're trying to swim upstream or force the river. And if you're trying to manipulate this person by certain means to get them to want to be with you or want to like marry you or something like that, it could, to you, it doesn't seem deceptive, but it could mean that you're promising the world and maybe you can't fulfill that in the end. Or maybe it's the other person. Maybe you're with someone who's promising you the world and you're feeling a lot of anxiety. So if this is swapped around and you're the one feeling a lot of anxiety and you're not sure, but this person is really persistent and forceful and, you're the one and love bombing. I feel like this anxiety is also telling you to be a little cautious about this and take this slow. But I do feel like eventually the truth is going to come and you're going to figure it out. But whatever this dynamic is right here, it has to shift. There has to be some sort of transformation. But either way, this situation is going to be a big catalyst for you in regards to huge transformation, whether it's with them or not. So that's a positive here. I'm going to grab another deck here. What's with the Five of Swords, Two of Swords? Queen of Swords. Oop, Ten of Wands. Yeah, this is too, somebody is definitely being very, like, someone's love bombing, but someone's trying to, like, fulfill the wants of this other person here. Because this Queen of Wands, somebody is very like, hey, this is what I want. This is how it has to look. And potentially if you have a past with this person, it's been a difficult past. And it's almost like this queen is saying, I'm not going to go through that again. Okay. So there could be a little bit of control here. And maybe they're just standing their ground and setting their boundaries. But that's kind of what's coming up. What say you, King of Swords, Page of Swords, Justice, and yes, I like that. I mean, it's almost like if there's been a past or whatever happened in the past, I feel like there is some sort of balance that needs to happen between the two of you. Like if things were imbalanced, this Justice is kind of some sort of karmic rebalancing here. There could be some karmic pieces to this relationship that you have to work out, maybe patterns or behaviors. And, you know, it's learning something new here. You two need to teach each other something new and shift how you're moving forward here. And that's when things will move forward. And I'm just going to get one more for the, let's see, Knight of Wands. Why not? Seven of Wands and the Four of Wands, the Hanged Man. So I still feel like you're unsure. You're feeling a little stuck about the outcome here and how this relationship is going to come together. Are we going to get married? Are we, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, there's some resistance here. Okay. So like, I'm feeling like that one of the parties is definitely standing their ground. Really standing up for what they want here. And this other person is a little less mature and they're a bit more impatient and impulsive here. And I feel like this person there finally is like a judgment day of like, push comes to shove, like, hey, like, this is like a wake-up call, but it can also be, the judgment can be about like a crossroads. Like, you know, let's see, Nine of Wands. Yeah, a crossroads of like, do we give up on this? Do we continue? Are we going to go down the same path? And this person here, the immature person or the impulsive person, I think needs to kind of simmer down and approach this in a new way. Otherwise, it's going to just keep going down the same path here. So it's like someone's setting their boundaries, standing up, saying, okay, this is how we're going to move forward. This is the changes that need to happen. And it's kind of then seeing if this other person can really step up to and shift And there needs to be some sort of spiritual reconnection here and healing to change these dynamics and potentially behavior patterns. So Libras, I will leave you with that. This seems to be very specific, a relationship situation for some of you. So we'll see how this plays out in July. Definitely interested to see how this applies, if this really hits the head for any of you. So let me know in the comments, hit that like button. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, to join the Lyran Soul Tribe here and stay connected for future videos. But thanks again for joining, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now.